So Fusion Strike has been getting all of the attention recently. As we all know, Fusion Strike has been skyrocketing. Literally everybody is talking about it. But there is another booster box that has skyrocketed that I don't really see many people talking about, but it has skyrocketed. It's Brilliant Stars. I've been covering also this booster box being a good pickup when it was 300 bucks, and shortly, a little bit after, a week later, they're now 400 bucks. So these have also skyrocketed. I mean, from 300 to 400. What is that? Like a 33% increase in just a week. Pretty crazy stuff. This has definitely been one under the radar, but has moved up significantly. So now it is 400 bucks, and it being now at $400. I wanted to show you guys some potential, I guess signs that there are some other great buys out there. If this is 400 bucks, there's a lot of other boxes that are in the Sword and Shield era specifically too that I wanted to mention that possibly looking at this now could mean that those boxes are maybe undervalued. So here you can see Brilliant Stars lowest listed $400. Now when you actually look at sold listings, you can see one just recently sold for 380. So one hasn't sold, I guess, technically for $400 yet, but it probably will continue to sell because one recently sold for 380. So I don't see any reason why it's just going to stop here. So I do think it will sell for 400 bucks. By the time you watch this, maybe they have already sold. But here is the graph here. As you can see, there's been a huge jump just literally in the past few days. But yeah, it slowly has gone up, as you can see, the past few weeks. And yeah, now it's at 400 bucks. Now when you actually see the supply on the market, it is shockingly how fast this goes to 500. There's just not that many listings of these. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of other boxes out there that have way more listings, such as the ones I'm going to show you here soon. But Brilliant Stars, I mean, just look at these pages. There's not much. So there's one here. There's 2, 3, 4 at 400 bucks. Look how quickly this goes up to 500. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and then we're in the low 400s. 11, 12, 13, and we're basically there. We're at 14 here. So 14 to 15 boxes. We hit 500 bucks. Now, that's not that many. You look at the sales volume past few weeks, this could reach there. I mean, one day literally 15 boxes sold, but obviously that was at like 315. It's a little bit different being at 400, 3 to 400 bucks, or now it's at 400, so like 400 and low 400s. A little bit different, I guess, to compare sales volume, but it just goes to show this could be very quick. I mean, we're just seeing a lot of just Sword and Shield movement here, so it's very possible this could somehow move up to 500 bucks here, which would be ridiculous. But like I showed you, there's not much supply on here, compared to the other boxes. So it could happen, especially seeing what Fusion Strike is doing. This may be the next one up to go crazy, but yeah, just something to see here. So same thing that I've talked about Fusion Strike. You may find straggling deals locally, LCSs, Facebook Marketplace. You may find some for under what now, I guess, lowest listed for $400. You may find them out in the wild. If I were you and you have an LCS, I would honestly go check because these have been just recently moving literally in the past few days. So I would go out and buy them. If they're like around low 300s, I would be picking them up because Brilliant Stars is now 400 bucks, and it just is a very similar situation to Fusion Strike. I was talking about it when Fusion Strike boxes were 500. Now we can see they're crazy, like over 700 bucks now. I think Brilliant Stars potentially, not saying it's going to happen, but looking at the market, looking at supply and the sales volume recently, it could go to 500, which I think would be ridiculous for what it is because there's plenty of other boxes out there that I feel like are more validated to be at that price point than Brilliant. But like I said about Brilliant many times, I feel like this has always been an underrated set in the way that this is like a perfect set. Charizard Alternate Art, Evolutions in the Trainer Gallery, they're all great artworks. So maybe it makes sense, but the value in here comparatively to other sets, it's a little bit different because the top chase card isn't as valuable as some of the other ones. And I'm just going to show you guys that here. So we have here the set value. You can see it's 1,000, but that's not really the whole point I'm trying to get at here. The main point I'm trying to get at is the chase card. Charizard is just barely, like, it's not even 200 bucks. So yeah, you compare it to the other sets I'm going to show you here. The top chase card is kind of weak in terms of price point and chaseability because it's not that expensive comparatively to the other ones, but still 200 bucks. Decently expensive, but like I said, there's other sets here that have way more expensive top chases. So for this to be at 400, those other sets I'm going to show you here could be potentially very good buys looking at this right now. So Brilliant Stars, it just recently went up. There are somewhat straggling deals on not TCG Player, on eBay, specifically cases. You can get them for under 400 bucks. You can see there are still some listings for around 360, 370 here. So there are some that you can find for under 400 bucks, because they just literally went up. They haven't sold yet for 400, but there are some somewhat deals individually, I guess, comparatively to TCG Player. So if you can't find any locally, maybe that's a buy. But I did want to highlight a few of the cases where there's some deals. So there's one here for 2250. If you do just simple math, 400 times 6, 2400. So if a case is under 2400, then technically it's under, I guess, what the market is right now. There's one for 2100. You do have to pay shipping. I don't know what that would be, but there's that. And there's also another listing for 2150 with free shipping. So this is not a sealed case though. As you can see, it's like probably it's like a resealed with the clear tape. But there are listings on eBay for Brilliant Stars booster boxes for cases that are technically under market price per booster box. That could be something worth looking into if you want to buy some of these, because they have recently moved up, and if you can get them by the case for like 2100 here, that's pretty good. So there's just some, I guess, advice if you're looking for them. There are some deals on eBay. So showing you guys that Brilliant Stars booster boxes are now 400 bucks. Comparatively, there are some sets that are 400 bucks that I believe should probably, theoretically, in my opinion, be more expensive. The first one here, Lost Origin. Lost Origin, in my opinion, should not be the same price as Brilliant Stars, because the top chase card is ridiculously expensive comparatively to the Charizard, and it's honestly surprising it's just the same price now as Brilliant. The reasoning, though, that's probably like this is because Lost Origin did get a reprint, just like Silver Tempest did, like at some point, was it late 2023 or something like that, right? So that's probably the reason why these, was it 2023 or 2024? No, it's 2023. I think late 2023. That's probably the reason why it's not more expensive. But seeing that Brilliant Stars is literally the same price as Lost Origin, I mean, would you guys rather have Lost Origin booster box or Brilliant Stars? Personally, with me, I'd probably pick Lost Origin. So Lost Origin being literally the same price, this is much of a better buy now, because another box is literally the same price as it, and this is, in my opinion, the better option. So this could potentially be a sign that this is a really good buy right now. If you do look in the past few days, look at what we're seeing here. These are some things to really look at. Look at the sales volume, drastically increasing here. I mean, people are noticing that, hey, this booster box is 400 bucks. These other ones are almost that price. Like, why is that the case? Look at the sales volume. It doesn't lie. So just showing you guys this here. This will probably be the next one if this whole Sword and Shield craze continues. I'll probably be talking about Lost Origin because, yeah, I mean, it seemingly is moving up because it's just sales are super high, and people I think are noticing it's a good deal. So if you do look at supply, Lost Origin, there's a lot more. I mean, you can see all these pages listed for around 400 or under. There's a good amount. You can see on this page they're all like 400, 410. Here's like 420s. Like okay amount of supply. What is there, like maybe 15 boxes on this page? Here it starts to move up to 500. So it could honestly, with the sales volume we're seeing here, it could be a week when this starts to go to 500. I'm telling you, all these booster boxes right now, there's no point in waiting. Lost Origin just became, in my opinion, a really good buy because of Brilliant Stars. So I'd really be looking to buy Lost Origin, and the specific reasoning for that, look at the Giratina. This is one of the top all arts in this era. It's $600 comparatively to Brilliant Stars. It's a $200 chase card. So when you look at this and you're like, wait, they're the same price, and it also has the Aerodactyl and it has the Pikachus, which I forgot to mention. I mean, this is a great buy right now, in my opinion, comparatively. So I would be maybe looking towards Lost Origin to buy some of these boxes. Now, when you go on eBay, you can see there are some sellers selling them for a low 400, so it's a little bit more expensive than TCG Player. There's one here for 400. So you can look on eBay, TCG Player, try to find some deals. This is in German, so that's why it's cheaper. You can look around. There's not really crazy deals, but the only benefit you get, I guess, if you're paying the exact same as TCG Player, is you get to see the exact box you're buying. I've always said that. That's the biggest benefit you get from eBay rather than TCG Player. You get to see the seals and everything if you're trying to collect or you just want a good condition box. Definitely, eBay would probably be the better option if you can pay the same price. So there's Lost Origin for you. I think this is one of the best buys out there because just everything now is going up in Sword and Shield. Now, another one here, an honorable mention, is Chilling Reign. Now, the reason why I say honorable mention is because, if you look at sales volume, it's not as, popular as the other options. So it may take a little bit more time, but this is probably the time you want to buy it if not many people are looking at it. But just overall, Chilling Reign has been sort of underperforming the other boxes. Maybe it'll have its breakout, very possible. But this one right now is around 360. So if you compare, you think Brilliant Stars is a better set than Chilling, could be an argument there to be made that Brilliant Stars is a better set because there's more popular Pokemon. That could be an argument, but Chilling Reign overall has more expensive cards. So this could be another sign to buy Chilling Reign, because there's a lot of boxes still listed on Chilling Reign on eBay and TCG Player for under 400. See here, there's like what, 5 boxes. It does quickly go up to 400 here though. After what, maybe like 30 boxes, it goes to 400. But sales volume is a lot lower, so it is going to take longer to go up. But you don't want to wait for that time. So Chilling Reign, comparatively, another probably good pickup right now. If you look at sales, if you look at the total set value, it's actually a lot higher than the others because the set is a lot deeper. But the chase card still like double as expensive as the Charizard. Even the secondary card is just as expensive as Charizard, but this has a lot of expensive like double-digit cards, which is why the total set value is pretty high. So Chilling Reign, another great option to buy right now, in my opinion, before it goes up. A lot of nice artworks. They're not the most popular Pokemon, you might say, especially they're the variants, but still really good set. A lot of people do like these artworks, and I think they look clean. They're all just really good, and just overall, there's a lot to chase in the set. So Chilling Reign, I think, is another great option. Now, if you go to eBay, you will be able to find them for around TCG Player lowest listed. You can find, I guess, some cases here, but this is more than market price. But yeah, you can find some for around what TCG Player is at. You can look at the exact box you're getting. You can see there's like 350, 360. There's a lot here of 3 that'd be like 400 each. There's just there's a good amount of Chilling Reign boxes here. You can see there's one, but it's damaged. So overall, I would say, just since Brilliant Stars has moved up to 400, it's still probably not the worst buy if you have to buy at 400. But I've showed you guys some cases where you could actually get somewhat of some deals. I would just honestly, just overall, just everything Sword and Shield, you gotta just buy it. Like, I know I keep saying it every single day, but it's one of those things where you're just gonna look back, and it's kind of the same thing with Fusion, and you're gonna be like, wow, a few days and it's already gone up. That's why I'm just reminding you guys every single day, we're gonna pay attention to the Sword and Shield market. We're gonna look at what's happening, because literally every single day things change. Brilliant Stars, I'm pretty sure last time I looked at it, it was like 350. Now it's 400. Lost Origin, in a week from now, we might see 500. Very possible. Chilling Reign, sales volume still a little bit low, maybe take a little bit longer, but things are moving. Brilliant Stars is now like $400. There are some deals on eBay for cases I'd be potentially looking at if you're trying to buy some of these, because you can get a discount. I'd also look locally. So yeah, everything's moving up. It's crazy time for Sword and Shield. I didn't expect Sword and Shield to have this comeback, especially at this time in the market, but it's happening. So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.